I hope that you people have gone through the slides I have shared already. Just for division purpose, I'm going through again, and then I'll ask you questions, MCQs. Okay, please be prepared. Just wait, let me share the slides. So we know there are four types of cloud deployment models. We have studied already three types of cloud services yesterday, just a revision of these things, and now we will just have a revision of the four types of cloud deployment models. So first is the public cloud. So the public cloud, it is, as the name suggests, public is readily available to the general public to store their data or do any kind of activity they want, because it is completely maintained by the third party. So yesterday we have seen that software as a service, where we don't need to take a headache of anything. If we want to directly code, we can go. It will provide. Similarly, in the private cloud also, public cloud also, we don't have to manage anything. We don't have headache of maintaining or creating any environment. We can directly go through that. Just we can directly work on it. So it does not provide basically a customized service, but obviously it will give what we require for. So for any small organization, this they can go for, because they don't have such customized requirements. They generally go for the public cloud, because one may be the also the reason that public cloud is easily available. It is free of cost, and sometimes if it is not also, then it is at a very minimal cost, so everyone can go for it. Okay, but coming to other sorts of clouds, we have other three models that is not readily available. So readily available means it is available because it's very costly. So you can take an example of Google Drive also. You can say that is a service provided, that is also one kind of public cloud also. You can say so, because it will Tanvi is trying because this public cloud, they will offer you to store the data. You can store any document, upload your documents there. You can view that documents, and you can without you being anywhere in the globe, you can just access the information, right? So you are ultimately putting these things in the cloud, so you can think of that as the public cloud too. Okay, so you can even if you want, you can scale those resources if you want to increase some because I think some clouds are there, like to certain extent it is free, but you if you want, suppose we have the Cisco Webex. Let me give an example of the Cisco Webex only. So you can take, it's an example of a software as a service, is a public cloud only, so because it is free. So 60 minutes it is free, right? But if we want to increase the timing of it, we have to go for premium. We have to pay some money for it. So you can consider, but our purpose is being serve is right. Serve. So it is that same thing. If we want to go for it, instead of having our own, like Microsoft, they have their own one. Okay, Microsoft, I think they have the go-to meeting. So if we can go for it, it's okay. But if we do, like in our crack in this one, I'm not sure also, people they have their own virtual like meeting conduction can be done, right? That one Vivo cracking, I think you are clear, you have seen, you have used it. Similarly, we don't want it. We are not using any personal editing, is not doing so. We are just using whatever is available to us, the public cloud, that is the Cisco platform, or the Google Meet is there, the Zoom is there. So similarly, we just and we are using the free version. We are needing only that much amount of time. If we are taking the class on only like within 50 minutes only. So if we require, no, sometimes it may be required to conduct any like webinars or to conduct any virtual conferences. Sometimes it may be required. It may to have the extend the time. In that case, we can go for the premium ones, right? To extend the times. So here is a popular example, like which are the companies which provide the popular like public cloud deployment models. We have the Amazon Elastic Compute. cloud, which is the also known as the Amazon EC2, C2 because of the compute cloud term, and obviously Google App Engine is there, Microsoft Azure is there, IBM Cloud is there, Salesforce, Heroku is there, and others. So we like this public cloud, as you know, like it is safe enough for small organization. If we don't have so much sensitive data, then obviously it is safe to go for it because it will be free for us and it will be free also and it will serve the purpose. But when it comes to big organization, then they need to follow some other storage method or storage cloud. Okay, so that is why they go for private. So here the public cloud something looks like this. There is a cloud service provider, and because it is mentioned in the diagram also, you see the cloud service provider is here and the users are outside, and all the services will be managed by the cloud service provider. We don't have to take a headache of anything. It will be um, managed by the cloud service providers also. Like for any small organization, this is a good enough, but if we want something customized, uh, according to our requirement, if we want something customized activities or services, that won't be possible. That is possible in the private one. Okay. Now let's take the example. So you know it's a hassle-free infrastructure management. So obviously we don't have to think about anything, right? It is totally managed by the cloud or third party. So that is why it is said hassle-free. We are ourselves using it, right? We don't have to think. I'm just scheduling the meeting and then I'm just starting it. That's it. And you people are just joining it. We don't have to manage like what will happen in the downtime, how we will like manage the software and things. It's not our headache. It's totally upon them, right? Then it is highly scalability. So obviously it's highly scalable. So if we want, we can just, I said one example of Cisco WebEx also. If we want more features, we can just go to premium, and then we can increase the timing of the Cisco WebEx or something in Zoom also. If you want to increase your timing, I think in Zoom it's the limitation is 40 minutes, I guess. Okay, then if you want to increase it, you have to go for the premium. Similarly, for Google Meet, I think limitation is 1 hour free. So if you want to go, you have to pay some money, and then you can that is highly scalable. You can extend it the services. Next is reduced cost. So since we are using one of the platform, like one of the public cloud, so we are not paying any money, right? We have no investment of the hardware or the software. So whatever we have just installed it. So we are not have not paid any money. So you can say the cost is reduced too much, right? Then 24/7 uptime. So it is easily available to us whenever we require. If the internet is present, it is available to us. Yeah, and it is not only available. See, sometimes it may be possible that I may not use my uh, laptop, so I can use my phone and I can just log in, right? So obviously, lots of things are there. But what are the disadvantages? So everything comes with the disadvantages, right? So these are the compromise reliability. See, for us, there is. I don't think we have any reliability issue because we are not storing any sensitive data or something. But for companies where big companies have sensitive information, for any organization where like every they have some agendas. Okay, if they want to put it in their cloud storage, and it's that may be tampered. Okay, because we don't know, like, because we are not managing that, because that management is done by the third party. So what happens if tampering is possible, right? So in that case, like if there is a server failure is there, so it may lead to your data being like lost or like tampered. Then data security and privacy gives rise to concerns. So obviously data security is essential, so we are not aware of it because we don't know where our information is kept. We know that yes, information is kept in the cloud somewhere, probably in the Google Drive or something. But sorry, but where it is kept, it's not sure for us. So some good, if there are some good hackers, they can really access that information, right? Then lack of any bespoke service. So when we go for the public cloud, as I said, that we cannot customize it. Whatever the services are offered by the third party, we have to accept that. We cannot change it according to our requirement, right? This is the services are provided based on the based on a common like since the public, so it will be general services, right? So if we have some unique I told you, every organization have some unique standards. So if we want to mold it into our according to our own company organizations like features, then it won't be possible. We won't be able to customize it in that way. Okay, that is what. So next, coming to the private cloud. So I've the private clouds, like obviously there is a same as public cloud only, but the only like difference is that it is more customizable and it belongs to a single owner. Like for public cloud, there was no single owner, right? Everyone is the owner of the public cloud. But it is here because they are paying a lot of money, so it belongs to a private one. So we can think of this. Amazon. Someone may ask me, ma'am, Amazon is a like a public cloud or a private cloud? So this Amazon virtual public cloud is a virtual private cloud is a basically a private cloud. Okay, basically, and they segregate the Amazon web services. Amazon web services, now I think you people have also registered for your labs also. The Amazon web services, these are the public one, but in that is in Amazon, they include both the public and the private one. Okay, so some the private one will be obviously costly, so where organizations use it. And also this company Hewlett Packard, that is the HP company, they also have their own private cloud. Then IBM have their own private cloud, right? They go for this because they have sensitive information. They are the competitors. You say Amazon, you say HP, HCL, then Infosys, all are competitors. So they ought to have they because they have their own agendas. They need to store somewhere. So many employees are working, right? Maybe lakhs of employees are working in their company. So they need to maintain their information in some database. So that is why they have their own private cloud. So um, so you can see that only one organization uses this deployment model. So I said the private means if there will be only one owner, that is or one owner of this organization, and it will be completely like how they want to mold the, since they are paying so much money. So the how they like to mold the activities, how much they like to change the activities, it will be totally customizable. And it won't be like available to the obvious, it's a private one, right? It will only be available to the specific organization, and not specific organization means the people working in the organization can access those cloud, but that too, like the who have only the permission, not all the part of that cloud. That is also possible that everyone cannot access all the part. Okay. Next. So obviously I have just said that compared to the public cloud, this private cloud is more customizable. And if you have like this private flights, as it costs so much, like it's a cost like really expensive, so it's only suitable for those organizations who have like really specific, they have really some good ideas for growth. Okay, so then and unique ideas, so in that case they have to they can go for this private. Just I gave you an example of HP. HP is there, then Amazon is there. Okay, Dell is there also. So these are the companies that provide the public and the private both clouds only. That's Cisco, Dell, Red Hat, everyone provides. Okay. So this is how a private cloud looks like. Next, coming to we have the sorry advantages. First, advantages what we have just customizable, high secure, and privacy and reliability. As other the what are the disadvantages? You can take it as the advantages over here also. But the major disadvantage is that it is expensive. Okay, and and since it is expensive, so it won't be like available for, it would not be a good choice for the small startups, right? Small companies which have. Okay, so it won't be a good idea for them to go for the private cloud. Okay, next is community cloud. So community cloud, like you can think what happens is a private cloud belong to only one organization. Okay, but it may be possible that there are few organizations, maybe 5 6 organizations is there who like have the same requirements as the other organizations, and they can like pay some, and if they want to go for the private cloud, but it is not possible for a single organization to go for the private cloud. So these big companies who have the same like same like important same sort of activities requirements and customization, so what they do is they group up, they sum up, and they buy that cloud. So that is why it's known as the community or community cloud, because this organization, in that case what happens is this the private cloud cost gets divided into um, divided into the you can say among the six of people. So if you think some, like I gave you an example, I don't remember right now. So I think you people go for the Netflix subscription. So Netflix subscription, or like you people like online subscription, lots of subscription are there. I think V is there, then obviously all Balaji, lot of things are there. So many people may think, okay, I want IT people do, because they will share the information, right? Instead of paying 9.99 per month, they will like share the subscription part. Similarly, for individual, it may be a subscription part, but for like this organization, since a private uh, cloud cost may be very much, so what if they have interest and they are working on the same type of thing, so they can go for like they build a community, they share their interest, and they buy that cloud, and the amount gets divided among them. And also like we know who are the ones, who are the organizations who are using the cloud. Okay, so in that way what happens is we are getting the advantage of the private cloud, whatever the customizability, scalability is there, so we are getting the advantage of it, okay, of the private cloud, and the cost is also shared. So basically, some companies may work on the joint ventures. So these companies generally go for such kind of community cloud. So here you can see this are they sharing. So obviously the advantage is that that cost is reduced, then improved security and privacy. See, we only go for such kind of ventures only if we have like, I think you people have heard of the merger, right? So I think latest something someone has merged. I have just seen the advertisement. I don't remember exactly. I think Idea and Vodafone. I'm not sure about it. So I think when they merge together, they can go for the community cloud because their objectives are same. So they can go for it, and there will be trust level, right? But there is disadvantages. So obviously it will be high, cost is higher compared to the public cloud. We know that the public cloud is either free or just we pay some limited amount for it, bigger amount for it. And next is the sharing of fixed storage and bandwidth capacity. So obviously the private cloud we are not sharing anything, right? It totally belong to the organization. But in case of community, we are sharing our storage and the bandwidth with the community or with the other organizations also. Okay, and it is not widespread so far, so community cloud is not like in use so much. Okay, now moving to the last and the like best out of it is the hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud means it's a combination. You can either take the advantage, so it basically have the advantage of the private cloud also, public and private, or the community cloud. So whichever you wish, you can combine the like best features and go for the hybrid cloud. So let me tell you an example that the hybrid cloud is it's a best example for the Netflix we have. Okay, this Netflix people, they take the advantage of the public cloud and the pay per use model also, and the they take both the advantage of the private and the public cloud. Even Uber is there. Okay, they also you take the advantage of the public and private cloud. So as I just mentioned, just community, they don't take the like sometimes they go for the community cloud, but actually this community cloud is not so much in use, like people don't use it. They generally go for the best features of the public and the private cloud only. Okay, so it has only advantages only. So improve security and privacy, enhance scalability and flexibility, and reasonable price. So obviously you're getting the best features of all the other clouds. That is why these are the advantages. Okay, this was just a revision of the cloud deployments. Any confusion?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Okay, now
ma'am.
can I ask you the questions which I have? Just a revision, okay? So it may be from module 1, 2, and 3. Okay, can you give some example of public cloud? Tenzin has asked. Okay, public cloud, I just gave you an example of the G Drive. You can take an example of Google Drive as a public cloud. Also, I gave you of the Cisco WebEx we are using. Okay, when the Google Meet we are using. This is, and if the companies, if you want to ask, like we have the Amazon Web Services also. Okay, and also we have Dell. Um, and what IBM is there. So lots of this kind of uh, companies. Google Play Store. How can Google Play Store will be you are providing public cloud Google Play Store? In what sense? Gunjan, what is that? I symbol I'm not getting. How is Google Play Store a public cloud? Other Google Suite is there, right? G Suite you have like in the G Suite, that is the public one. Okay, example of private cloud. I gave you just example of the actually this is company specific. This Amazon is using their own virtual public cloud. This Amazon.in, right? They are using the like Amazon virtual cloud, and also we have the HP they because HP I think the HPE they say it okay I think Hewlett Packard evaluation or something. I'm not confirmed about the E part okay, but at HP companies they go for the private clouds. You will see it. You will easily find the if you type in Google you will find the what is the the private cloud for HP. But we are not aware of it. Even like IBM has their own cloud, right? Like own private cloud and every organizations like if you think of Dell also Cisco also so like those who provides the public cloud same organizations will provide the public also sorry private also okay like Amazon EC2 I had just discussed. Microsoft Azure is there so you can think of it. Microsoft Azure I guess it's an example of public cloud. Okay, okay, can I go to ask questions right now? I have some questions ready for you people. Okay, it's for module 3. Okay, let me take. So if you wish to write in the chat, that is also okay. Just let me ask. I'll give you the options also. Okay, dash involves protecting critical information from theft, data leakage, and deletion are the main concerns that are taken off. Okay. Dash involves protecting critical information from theft, data leakage, and deletion are the main concerns that are taken care of. Sorry. So first is cloud integration, cloud security, then cloud testing or cloud data portability. Cloud integration.
Cloud integration.
Uh-huh. What is the answer?
Integration.
Cloud security.
What Krishna said, I'm not
Security,
hearing.
ma'am.
Krishna, what did you say?
Cloud security.
Yes, it is cloud security, right? Just wait. Yeah, yesterday in the like third module slide we have these questions, right? Okay, just wait. This cloud security. Just wait. Let me take the. Okay. Next, it covers disaster recovery, test, backup, secure connection, and storage policies. Okay, let me repeat the question once more. It covers disaster recovery, test, backup, secure connection, and storage capacity policies. Is it application, network, infrastructure, none of the above?
Ma'am, can you repeat the
Yeah,
question one more time?
okay, just wait. I have a network issue actually, that's why. Just wait. Yes. It covers disaster recovery test, backups, secure connection, and storage policies. Options are application,
Infrastructure, ma'am.
network, infrastructure, none of the above.
Ma'am, infrastructure.
Yes, it is infrastructure. Next, network is too slow for me. Module 2 is there. Okay, module 2 asking, I'm asking the module 2 question, okay? I have to save it in this, and I'm directly asking you from the ERP. That is the network issue I'm getting. Anyways, we'll continue probably the next one. I have saved somewhere. Just wait, huh? Let me open this. I think it's better. Okay, some question may be repeated. I have asked you some time back. Okay, still you can answer now. This approach involves retiring a monolithic on-premise application and moving to a SaaS solution. This approach involves retiring a monolithic on-premise application and moving to a SaaS solution. It is a lift and shift, shelve and spend, refactor and re-architect, none of the above. Monolithic premise application and retiring a monolithic on-premise application and moving to a SaaS solution. Let me answer it for you people. I know you people will just guess it only. Shelve and spend. Okay, I think you remember the broad approach to the cloud computing. Okay, it's the shelve and spend. Next is cloud computing allows tester to increase or decrease computing resources according to their needs. Can you tell me what kind of it is the explanation of which property? Cloud computing allows testers to increase or decrease cloud computing resources according to their needs. Cost cutting, customizable, scalability, availability. Allows to increase or decrease.
Customizable. Customizable.
Scalability, increase or decrease computing resources. Okay, it's the scalability. Now from module 3, dash covers service capacity, availability, response time, and elasticity. Okay, service level objectives, service level agreement, remediation penalties, exclusions. Let me read the question again. It will cover service capacity, availability, response time, and elasticity. Service level objectives, service level agreement, remediation penalties, or exclusion. It's a module 3.
Good.
It is a service level objective. Okay. Next. In which the cloud service provider delivers the entire software suite as a pay-per-use model. As a pay-per-use model, IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS. Which one? Entire software suite is delivered as a pay-per-use. Yesterday's diagram, 3 diagram. I want all the diagrams I've shown you. The first diagram, I hope you remember the application and everything.
IaaS.
IaaS.
Ma'am, Ma'am, SaaS.
It is
Yes,
software.
ma'am.
Yes, it is software as a service. Okay, because it is written, right, the entire software suite. Okay, next question. Okay, next is Dash provides more control over customizability, flexibility, and scalability. Private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, or community cloud. Dash provides.
Ma'am, private cloud.
Yes, it's a private
Ma'am,
cloud.
private.
Yes, correct. Someone is ready, but I'm not sure. Gunjan, public for what? Public will provide like more customizable or flexibility and scalability. No, right? Next, Dash is SaaS service offered to users over the internet. Private, public, hybrid, community. Dash is software as a service services
Private.
offered to user over the internet. Is it private? Private, public?
Yes, ma'am.
Public.
Yes, ma'am.
It is
Private.
a public. It is a public because I told you example of the software as a service as public cloud. Given example of Cisco WebEx. So yesterday I was also telling you Google Google Drive. Also an example of software as a service only, right? And they belong to the public cloud. Okay. I not ask this question now. Which of the following is most refined and restrictive service model? Most refined and restrictive service model. Infrastructure as a service, then community as a service, then platform as a service. All of them mentioned. Restrictive and refined. IaaS, CaaS, PaaS, all of them mentioned. See, CaaS is not there. So leave about it. Think of other three. So all of the mention is also cancelled. So now think of that IaaS.
Infrastructure as a
And
service.
IaaS.
No, it is a PaaS. Because here we can like in IaaS we have till virtual, like it will provide the storage, it will provide networking and virtualization. But in PaaS we can go for like modifying the we'll check the middleware also, run the operating system we can modify. In PaaS it will be provided all these things, but we can modify with the code, application and data, right? So we can make it we don't have to think about the operating system and everything, but because that will be taken care of the third party, but this application and data we can modify according to our need. So that is why it is the PaaS as a service. Okay, next questions I'll be asked. Yes, Deepesh and Gunjan has written PaaS. Let me take the attendance. I'll continue in the next class. So are you people ready for a quiz, like if a quiz is taken? Yes? Will you be ready? So probably in the month of October we'll be having through I think Vigo tracking or something, that through tracking we'll be having one quiz session. Okay, you can also have in Google Classroom, but Google Classroom won't be so much good. I think this one will be good enough. Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone. So you all can do it. Okay. Enjoy your weekend.